Hi everyone, Angelo here. I'm in my rental car. Oh, I'm straining because my ribs are still on fire. I'm going to be in the rental car for longer than initially I thought. Let me sit up. Show what it's like. Sit up. Oh, I hit the right angle on that where it didn't hurt to get up. But it hurts to breathe. Oh, all right. Oh, man. I was sitting on a couch last night at the Sunspace where I've had my mom's videos playing, like if you saw before Angel's mom's cooking tips playing. It hurt to sit on the couch. The way the couch was, I was sinking in the couch. If I tried to put my arm up on the arm of the couch, it hurt. Oh. All right. And yawning hurts like a mofo. By the way, I've been homeless for nearly a year now. Oh, man. I'm not able to exercise because of the pain in my ribs, and also now my left calf feels like it's going to explode when I'm walking. So I'm not going into too many details now because there are possible legal proceedings. Oh, that's better. But so first of all, the car is officially a total loss. The insurance adjuster called me. He looked at it. I was like, yeah, no kidding. I mean, he said because due to the damage to the rear, the car is going to be a total loss. I was like, well, obviously. And the other thing is, because the title is in Virginia, it's going to take like 2 weeks to get paid for the value of the car. So I was like, what the hell? What's that mean? I got a copy of the title. Whatever. It's in Virginia. It'll take 2 weeks. The good thing is they're going to extend my rental coverage for 2 weeks. It's good because it gives me some room to figure out what I'm going to do. Because before I only had rental coverage for 5 days. I thought it was a month, but they said the max is a month you can get under your policy. But I had a coverage policy that was only for 5 days because when I moved to California and I got my insurance switched over to here, my insurance premiums went up so high that I tried lowering everything I could that I thought I wouldn't need. Because I wanted to keep my monthly payments down. So the rental was only going to be covered for 5 days. So now I have 2 weeks. That gives me more time to just save some, listings of car sales, drive around, see if there's, cars on the side of the road for sale. I'm looking for old Toyotas, old Toyota Corollas, Celicas, old Honda Civics, maybe old Acuras, because Honda makes Acura and they're reliable if they're very inexpensive. So I don't know. I haven't even looked into which models those would be that are reliable and that could possibly be in my price range. Ow. Now, this I can't say too much about because now there may be, there's official workings involved in legal proceedings. Now, I don't know yet who hit me, but someone took responsibility for the accident. Their insurance adjuster called me, got a statement from me, which she gasped when she heard that statement. And because when she said, what's your recollection of this thing? I said, well, I was sleeping. When I woke up, I was thrown against the steering wheel. My car was skidding down the road. So if you don't know, I was sleeping in my car. I'd only slept for an hour and a half or 2 hours. Came home to my car late because I was at a film festival that night. Blow my nose. Even blowing my nose hurts. Ow. And so there are going to be proceedings, going forward from there. And there's a potential felony hit and run case. So, you don't talk about that stuff because you let the detectives and everybody talk about it. You don't litigate it online. There's nothing to talk about. I have no desire to talk about it. That's just got to go through, the proper channels. Ah. So, again, I'm not saying more about anything else other than my ribs are on fire. My left calf feels like it's going to explode. Trying to get myself, taken care of, and now I got to look out for cars, but thank goodness this rental's extended for 2 weeks. Even talking too loud hurts. That's why I'm kind of talking softly. Oh, and burping hurts. So I gotta find out, what car will I get. Which is a shame because, damn, man, even for all the problems my Honda had, it could have kept running for so long, I'm sure. So... Also, we need more safe parking around LA. I just read a story how a woman, I think in Oregon, was sleeping in her car with her dog. She's homeless. And a suspected drunk driver plowed into her car, knocked it onto someone's front lawn, and killed her and her dog. There's no reason people who sleep in their cars should be denied safe areas to sleep in. The people who don't want that, the fascists like Larry O'Connor, who hate homeless people, Tucker Carlson, who say it's just gonna reward homeless behavior. You don't make homeless people going away by making it more and more painful. You just make it harder and harder to get homes. And of course, you're not interested in whether it rewards homeless people or not. You like inflicting pain and punishment. Because you could look at how homelessness is reduced. It's by providing homes. You don't like that. And Larry O'Connor, when he debated a woman who was very good, very eloquent, and hit him on all his points, and she asked, well, what would you have homeless do? Where would they go if they can't sleep on the street? He wouldn't answer. He was just like, no, actually, that's very ideological of you to ask. She said, where are they supposed to go? Vaporize themselves? He's like, no, you don't understand. And then afterwards, he's like, yeah, she's just driven by ideology. But meanwhile, she's asking about the consequences of exactly what he advocates, which is basically that homeless people would have to either starve to death, die of disease, die of exposure, or just be arrested and taken to jail, which we spend tons on here in California. It's amazing how we claim we don't have money for housing, for tiny housing, for public housing, for shelters, for treatment. And yet we spend money on all that, but we do it in jails. And we make sure jail contractors and prison contractors get very, very rich on the deals and get millions and billions from the state government for it. But they don't want to admit that, they're willing to spend the money. They just want to spend it on inflicting pain and making it worse for homeless people and harder to get jobs, to get housing. Because once you have a criminal record, it's harder to get all those government benefits that other people have access to. And by the way, they don't want anyone to have access to them. It's funny. I listened to a woman this racist call into Larry O'Connor saying how she has trouble feeding her child. And she says how immigrants can get all that if they want. They can get those programs, but I can't. And he's like, yeah, I hear you. And she was talking about how she struggles to survive with her child. And she can't get, she's not poor enough to get government benefits for her and her child. It's like, yeah, Republicans have been cutting those programs for decades. They don't want people, they demonize people who get government benefits. And Larry O'Connor acts like, sure, you're on my side. And then it's like the knives come out when she's gone, like, oh, a poor person. Oh my goodness, that was funny. But I'm not going to help her. And meanwhile, they just blamed immigrants like it was nothing, like it's breathing, like, and brown people are around. It's really inconvenient when you're white. If they wanted government benefits, maybe they should have been white. That would have been smarter of them. You work hard. That's an American value. That's a conservative value. You be white. Then you earn government benefits. Fucking scumbags. So we need safe parking. Taking up money and time with insurance adjusters, with the police, with who knows whatever the proceedings are going to be. That's not like a money-saving policy. Safe parking is. It's just one measure, so that people like me aren't constantly pushed around, because I don't know how many other areas I can really safely park in. Because I can look at them and see, like, especially if it's a rich area, I'm going to stand out so much if I'm parking here. Poorer areas, I can look around and see, oh, nobody's going to care if I park here. Nobody's going to call the police because there's already people parking up and down the street. So we're limited, concentrated in certain areas. And then denied access to safe, guarded areas to sleep. Because there's only like, 250 safe parking spots in LA. There's a safe parking program where they're designated for car dwellers. And I don't think there's any in the area I like to stay in. The Burbank area, North Hollywood. There's none, I don't think, around here. So if I were to do it, I would have to drive far every day just to go to the gym that's not packed every day, where I have to wait for a shower to go shower and exercise, which I'm not doing for a while because my ribs hurt. I'm off the film I was going to work on. I was going to work on it for 9 days as a production assistant. Can't do it now because I can't do physical labor. It was a free job, but I would have loved the relationship building, the work itself on set, the free food, and building skills with, different equipment and different kinds of, how to problem solve on set. Had to miss a shoot as well yesterday. And anyways. So I'm hoping people can be on the lookout for used cars. I am not financing a thing. I want to be able to pay cash, something a few $100s, reliable. I'm going to have a mechanic look at it. And either an old Toyota Corolla or Celica, an old Honda Civic. Maybe, I don't know if CRVs, old CRVs, how reliable they are, Honda CRVs. I'd kind of rather have a Civic because I don't want the hatchback, I want a trunk. A few $100s, maybe around $1,000 or so. And even if you see them before the 2 weeks are up, when I'll get paid from the, oh boy, I was gonna burp. I better not burp because my ribs hurt when I do that. Even though I won't be able to get it before the 2 weeks, at least if I have the listing, right when, I get the check, I can immediately call the people who have cars for sale that I'm interested in, and then schedule a time to go see them with the mechanic. And at least so, I'm not busy looking then, because there's so many car listings that are just junk. at least on Craigslist. There's so many used car dealers who sell stuff on there. I don't want anything from a dealer. There's so many that have major problems, like salvage titles, meaning the car's already been destroyed once, like flooded. I don't want that. It's going to be too many problems. There's listings where maybe it's too expensive, and then also listings, you get ones that may be too far away. And then finally, listings where it looks like it's a private seller, but it could be someone who's being paid by a dealer to sell it on Craigslist and pass it off as their own. And so the questions I'm going to ask on the phone, if anyone has a car out there you're interested in selling to me, know that I'm going to ask, is the title in your name, and is it any kind of salvage title? If it's not in your name, I'm not interested. And if it's a salvage title, I'm not interested. I want a clean title. So I only want reliable cars. Man, most cars, I just realized most cars are shit. Most cars are absolute shit. I'm talking about ones being made today and most in the past, because they just aren't that reliable. They're made with cheap plastic parts, lots of crappy electronics that are very expensive to replace, stuff not designed well, so it's hard to get to, like BMWs. Yeah, they're fun to drive, but watching Scotty Kilmer, I'm realizing, I would never buy one. Even if I was really rich, I wouldn't want to give them the satisfaction of my money for building such crappy cars. They're very safe, very, very safe, very fun to drive, but they're horrible to work on, and that's why they lose their value so quickly. They got lots of cheap plastic that corrodes, electronics that's expensive, and poor design like headlights that you can't just go in and replace yourself. You have to go to a mechanic and it costs like $100. Oil change costs a few $100s. So why bother with all that? Even if you're rich, that money's better off going to something else, going to invest it in something, to give it to charity, give it away to homeless people, give it to homeless charities or groups that advocate for the homeless. And also, I just don't want to give a reward to anybody who makes such a, it's like they have malice and animosity for people who buy cars. Like, nope, you don't need a well-designed car. I want something that's solid, sturdy, that'll last a long time. Toyotas and Hondas are practically the best at that. Or certainly the best at that, almost certainly. And so I wish people just thought, make smart decisions on cars, but they're too worried about making money very short term and planned obsolescence, and they're not worried about longer term making money. So of course they make junk. So, and of course, a lot of people aren't buying new cars as a result. Too expensive to maintain. So I'm going to be in the rental for 2 weeks. That's good news. And got to find a new car, and the other stuff, I'm not going to talk about that. So hey, thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks for all your support. I got to go to the gym. I'm going to try and do laundry today. I'm going to go to a public access shoot where hopefully I don't talk like this. Anyways, that's it.